Where does this sit? I think, you know, he fluctuates to 140, comes down to 130, drifts at 135. He's been touted as one of the kings, but where's he really a king at? Is he really a king at 135? Is it 140? Is it 130?
Yeah.
I think that's going to play out in the future when some of the background stuff settles itself. And obviously it's great to have another lightweight championship like that happening within a fortnight of the George Kambosos Haney fight. You know, we had the same thing when you know, George fought Teofimo Lopez, and then the following week we had Devin and JJ Diaz. So you know, that's great, mate. The lightweight division is unbelievably crazy at the moment, and it's the hottest division. And yeah, I think Gervonta does a job, and then after that, it'd be very interesting to see what happens next and where he kind of rolls on from that point onwards.
George, full focus is on Devin Haney, and it was for Teofimo Lopez. It was a longer build-up. We're 12 days out, full focus. But for you, as CEO, co-manager of Ferocious Promotions, is Gervonta Davis one that you probably don't talk to George much, but when we were talking about that could be a potential mega pay-per-view international blockbuster fight for Kambosos and for Gervonta?
Yeah, look, I mean, anybody in that division, in the lightweight division, is a mega fight. And you know, there's so many big names. That's why it's great that
it is. It's stacked.
It's a stacked division. So the thing is, you know, we're only looking at what's ahead of us at the moment. And you know, we did the same thing with Lopez. You know, nobody gave George a chance, and look where we're at. And we're just looking at Devin Haney at this point in time. I know, you know, people like to look away from what's in front of him. You know, you've got Gervonta, you know, Lomachenko was the guy that was supposed to be the one that was supposed to be here. He was the one, you know, the war and, you know, respect to the guy, you know, he's back home, you know, fighting for his people and his nation. But, you know, you got Garcia, you know, so, I mean, there's so many names. I mean, you've got some 130s that can come up. It's really, it's hard to tell what could happen next. But once again, it all comes down to George getting past Haney, and then obviously we can sit down and look at everything in front of us, and then let the negotiations begin if we're going to go down that road.
Because you've travelled so much on the road, you know, I mean, even when you haven't been fighting, when you've been sparring, you know, in the wild card in Los Angeles and the Philippines, Mindanao, all these different places, your son has all the belts. Is it where you see as being CEO of Ferocious Promotions that for the future that you will hold that ground, that home ground advantage, and bring it here?
Well, we've already brought it here, so the thing is,
but continue that on.
Well, that's exactly you know, what the plan is. I mean, it's been 5 long years, and we've been doing it over there, and all that experience and all that you know, that sparring and training and everything in the States has given us the opportunity where George has gone out and achieved and pretty much secured all the belts. Come June 5th, he's going to take that last one, and then it means that we're just going to remain in Australia and keep doing what we're doing. I mean, we've got a 2-fight deal anyway, so whatever happens, you know, obviously June 5th, whatever it is, the next one is going to be in Australia again. So we've got a 2-fight deal. So who's it going to be? You know, we're confident we'll get past Devin, and then obviously who's it going to be? It could be,
stay tuned,
Davis. It could be Lomachenko. It could be Garcia. You just don't know. That is something that, like I said, we haven't investigated or looked at. We're just looking at June 5th at the moment with Devin Haney. But the plan is, just like every world champion, is to hold on to the belts for as long as possible and to be able to sit and defend in your own nation. And George deserves that, because 5 years on the road, it's his homecoming in front of like 50,000. It's going to be crazy, but the thing is, we haven't lost sight of the most important thing, and that is to defend successfully and also and basically take Devin's belt off.